Hello, hello, hello. My name is Taylor Garrett, and welcome to The Wealthy Changemaker, where I'm teaching you not only how to create wealth, but embody it. I'm sitting here in my beautiful flat, my Airbnb in Portugal, on an organic farm next to a horse stud and just an incredible community of people. And I really feel here that I am discovering wealth at its core form. And so there's never been a better moment to talk about what is true wealth really, and what is it not. If you want to know more about the lies, the deep core seated lies in wealth, then there's another video that I've made. You can go check out what wealth isn't, and then how do we start deprogramming all of the lies about wealth. So let's take a deep breath, because wealth is a big subject full of a lot of beliefs, a lot of fear, and a lot of excitement for many of us. And as we're talking about what true wealth is really, what I want to create space for is a definition that we can get even on, that we're on the same page with. And I'm going to invite you to think about your own definition of wealth, because mine is not the ultimate, only definition of wealth. However, it is a definition that has really served me in creating my life around the world, to be able to move to Portugal, to have the community of my dreams, and be able to afford all of that, knowing that I'm safe and supported, and then more is coming always. So let's get to it. What is true wealth? What is it really? The definition that I use of wealth is it is a life in alignment with what you value most. Now let's unpack that, because there's so much to it. And then I'm going to teach you, okay, how do I start creating my definition, my relationship with wealth from a place of excitement and love rather than from a place of fear and survival. Neither is good nor bad, nor right nor wrong. However, when we're talking about wealth, we know that there's a lot of people who have made money, they've gotten money, they've had the millions and the billions, and yet they are miserable. They're declaring wars on countries. They have no relationship with their partner. They're cheating. They don't have a relationship with their kids, right? They have the money and they don't have the family that's united and connected, or they don't even have the love for themselves, and they're overweight, right? There's so many examples of this, and yet there are people that don't have money that are also miserable and unhappy, and there are also people that don't have money that are excited about life and just free, and there are people that have money that are free and excited. So let's get down to the actual definition of wealth. So let's break that definition down. Wealth is a life in alignment with what you value most. A life in alignment with what you value most. The first thing that we get to know about wealth is that it's not something you do, it's not something you have, it's who you be. Let me say that again. Wealth is not something you do or have. Wealth is a way of being. It's who you are being. What that means is a lot of us think wealth is having the house, the assets, the cars, the savings, right? Thing is it's who we are being and generating that makes us feel wealthy. So wealthy is a way of being. It's a way of experiencing that you cannot do, right? The same action that I do will make me $500,000 will not make you more than $5, or vice versa. And so when we're understanding wealth is a way of being. There are many people who travel and feel poorer than can be. And I was one of them, traveling with no money, and yet feeling the most wealthy person in the world because of the experiences I had. So wealth is a way of being. It's not something you do. It's not something you have. Next to that, wealth, the true wealth, is living, knowing you are alive. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday for getting some tests on whether I have cervical cancer or not. And in this moment, in this feeling of my life being in front of me, and that my doctor is talking to me about the fact that we wait for the results to see whether I go on to oncology or whether there's something more simple. And in that moment, what became very clear is that the biggest wealth is knowing that I'm alive right now. And I may not be alive a year from now. I may be alive for another 80 years because, technology is going crazy. But the biggest wealth is knowing we are alive and we are existing. And this awareness is everything. So it is a life in alignment with what you value most. Let's talk about the word alignment, because alignment is many things for many people. And what I want to underline it as here is that it's an acceptance an acknowledgement and a connection with what is important to me. So it's an acceptance, an acknowledgement, and connection, right? Alignment is literally meaning, you're in harmony, you're in line with. There's not resistance towards this idea that I need to do it this way or I need to have them treat me in this way. There's a flow that is in the definition of wealth that is very important to understand when we're talking about creating wealth. It's about flow. It's not about pushing and forcing ourselves to the burnout through the hustle, but really true wealth is created from a place of ease and flow and creativity. And that's what has allowed me to create my life today in Portugal as we're moving here into this beautiful villa, not this place. But, to be able to stay here for a week and rent an SUV for myself before we're buying a car, and to have this community that I'm building is extremely valuable because I'm in allowance and acceptance of this moment that's in front of me. It's not perfect. The visa process is crazy. It's been rather a big investment. And it's also far away from my own family, who's all the way back in Arizona, thousands and thousands of miles away. So it's in alignment and in allowance and acceptance and connection. Now, a life in alignment with what you value most. Okay, who is you? Let's break down this piece because there are many pieces of you. You're a mosaic of different ideas, energies, personalities, interests, right? You are a mosaic of a person. And so when we're talking about wealth, which part of you are you in alignment with when you're creating it? Now, I'm talking about the you here. That is not the small self. If I get the good haircut, if I put on the makeup for this camera, if I look good in this way, if I make good this way, if I have this surviving part of me, right? I'm not talking about the small you, the one that wants to look good and be acknowledged by others and be seen as powerful by others. What I'm talking about is the you that is internally aware, right? Internally acknowledging and experiencing everything. This is the you that is in your most loving core self, that sees source and creation in everything from a place of love. Not the you that thinks, okay, I get the haircut or the new house, then I'll be okay. This is the you that knows you are okay internally, that is coming from a place of pure love. Finally, a life in alignment with what you value most. Let's talk a little bit about value, because value is, it seems very Taylor, but value is really about what is it that is most important to me? What is it that is supporting my heart, is serving me in where I am right now? Knowing that I have the resources I need, knowing that I am supported. When I come from that place, what is it I actually value most? Is it connection or is it being right over somebody who's sitting in front of me? What is it I truly value from this place of experiencing life? What is it I value most? And so let's talk a little bit about value, because you're going to create your own definition. And in fact, you already are. You do it every day when you make decisions, when you look at the world and have your experience. You've already created your definition of wealth. And now we're just talking about, okay, how do I do it intentionally? And how do I do it from a place that is playful and exciting and fucking cool, pardon my French. How do I create my wealth and embody it? Is first starting and getting intentional and connected to what is my actual definition of wealth, right? Once you're aware, I want you to actually think about what you liked about my definition. Maybe you've heard some definitions from somewhere else. In fact, leave it in the comments if you've heard different definitions of wealth that you've really loved. What is your definition of wealth? What does it mean to you? And as you start thinking about what wealth means for you, maybe it's hard to create a definition. What I do is I sit down and I ask myself, what does wealth look, taste, feel, smell, and touch? I don't know, whatever the senses are. What is it? I call this the tingle test, right? What does it look, taste, feel, smell, touch like? As you're getting connected to this, so I'll give you some examples. For me, wealth is being able to travel and take planes to go see people I love around the world. It's being able to have the most incredible adventures and have the resources for the most incredible adventures. Like here I am in the middle near a place called Tomar, Portugal, in the countryside on an organic farm with horses. I mean, it's to be around animals. There's a dog, there's cats, there's also the plants here from a permaculture style of farming that's in synergy and syntropy with the land. And my hosts are incredible people. So wealth for me is being able to have these relationships that are truly from the depths of my soul, where I feel like I can be myself. Wealth is being able to call my boyfriend or be with my boyfriend and have the most beautiful times ever. And to work through the conflicts that we have, the disagreements when they do come up, and know that it's not about him, but really it's from a place in me, that I get to do the work. And this awareness is the wealth. This awareness that I always have the ability to change my experience and to let my experience be and let go what does not serve, so that I can be in alignment with life and be in the truth of the experience in front of me, which is that it is from eternal love. And that just makes dealing with conflict and problems so much easier. A part of being wealthy is knowing how to deal with conflict in a way that leaves the situation better than when I found it. Not better from a place of everybody's more improved and fixed, but better because there is more love than before. And I can see somebody without needing to change them or fix them. There's so many different aspects. Wealth is being able to eat the food that's colorful and rich and organic that I want. Wealth is being able to feel healthy in my body and have a good night's sleep in a bed that I just so love, whether it's on the ground in nature or whether it's on this beautiful, big, massive bed over here. Wealth is being able to have the space to breathe. So you're going to start noticing that wealth isn't directly correlated with money. Now, in these last moments, I want to ask you, what is wealth for you? If you were to see it, taste it, touch it, hear it, smell it, what would that be? You can even write see, taste, hear, touch, smell. What would that be in one line? And we start simple at the top of the funnel. And because you're getting intentional and conscious of your relationship with wealth. What is that? We're going to tingle test it and then create your own definition of what wealth is. You're free to use a life in alignment with what you value most. And remember that wealth is a way of being. It's not something you do or have. It's who you be. And that is the core to understanding what true wealth is beyond all the misnomers that are out there. If you want to know more about the biggest lies around wealth and how do we deprogram them from our mind after we've lived them for decades, right? Then check out my next video where I talk about the 5 biggest lies of wealth. All right, with that being said, if you like this, please like it below to support me and subscribe if you want to hear more. All right, with so much love and light, this is Taylor, and I will catch you next time on The Wealthy Changemaker. Ciao.